Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. I would like to introduce Emma McLean from Works for Everyone. Hi, Emma. Thanks for joining us today.
Kia ora. You're very welcome.
Great. Now, if anyone's got any questions, just do post your questions and we can certainly answer them during the session, or Emma would be happy to talk to you or message you after we've had a chat. So our subject today is how to reboot your career after divorce. And it's really important because as you know, I see so many women in my practice and some men who you haven't been working for a number of years and find themselves separating and wondering what they're going to do. You know, it's really such a really important piece looking at people's new beginnings. What sort of career am I going to do? Am I going to continue in the one I'm in, or am I going to set up my own business? All these questions that people find that they're facing after they move through the process. So let's talk a bit first about you. So you are a coaching and consultancy, you've got a coaching and consultancy business, and you're particularly focused on women or mothers going back to work after having a career break. So you've had a 25-year career in corporate marketing, both in New Zealand, and you've lived in the UK as well. And you founded your business last year because you think it's really important for women to find work that works for everyone. So by that you mean for themselves, for their family, and for their employer. And you have got 3 children yourself, so you know how hard it is working with a family, but also you want to talk about, you know, the benefits that come from being in work. And you've coached hundreds of New Zealand working parents to get the work that works for them, and you are happy to share today what you know and what works for other people.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Great. So the first question I have for you, what do women need to get clear on what they need? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so I think when you're looking to reboot your career, the first thing you need to think about is what you want in your career or in your job. What's important to you? So it might be things like, well, I really want a 20-hour-a-week job, or it might mean I want to go back into the role I already had 5 years ago. I want to reboot my career as a business analyst, for example. And I think this really, this checking in with yourself around what do I want in a job? Because if you're going to trade your time for money, make sure you're doing something that works for you and works for your family. And I think, you know, when you're starting this, aim high. Don't just go, oh, I'm going to go and work in a shop, or I'm going to go and be a secretary. You know, what do you want? What are your dreams? Tap back into your inner voice with getting clear on what you want to do for a job, and what, you know, the things when you're doing them, you feel really like you again.
What are you passionate about, isn't it? It's really, if you have to get up every day and go to work or have your own business, you really want to be working in a space that really means something to you. Hey?
Yeah. And I think, like, a lot of people talk about that, and the reality, it's actually really hard to find that. But, you know, if you know that's what's the thing you want to find, just get curious about it. And start thinking about all the things you've been involved in when you've been on a career break. I bet a lot of women out there have taken community leadership roles, working on school fundraising committees, working on charities, that kind of stuff.
Right.
That is leadership, right? Springboard from that. You've developed great skills. You've got networking. You know how to deliver. You know how to organize. You know how to motivate. Everyone needs those people. So, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I'm always encourage women in my practice that, you know, if they can throughout their marriage or relationship, always have their hand in something, as you say, whether it's something voluntary or something charity or just babysitting or nannying or whatever that they can do to help others, or as you say, part of the school. Because I know that I was very fortunate. Well, in a way, my mother died of ovarian cancer, and the positive thing that came out of that is I went on the New Zealand Gynae Cancer Foundation and became a trustee, which then led me, when I separated, to be the general manager. And I remember sitting in my office on the first day, after having not worked for a number of years, paid work, going, oh my God, what do I do now? But but it went well. It was a success, and I'm very passionate about that area. So that's my advice. Is everyone make sure you're doing something which then can be put into practice in the future.
Yeah, and I think, yours is a beautiful story, and thank you for sharing it, because opportunity comes from the places you least expect it, and so, do things that just instinctively feel right. So that instinctively felt right for you, and look where it's led you. Look where it's led you. Have faith in the universe. I'm going to sound a bit like Oprah now, but have faith in the universe. Follow your curiosity. Okay, don't worry if you don't know what you want to do. Just do something, because you'll work it out. Don't stress about it, but follow your curiosity. That felt right for you to join the Ovarian Cancer Society, and then look what happened. So just be open to possibilities. That's what I would say to people.
Absolutely, and people can find passions and things they never thought would be something that they would be interested in. And that's right. As we journey through life and we have these different challenges, I mean, you come across things that you're like, that really interests me. And I think one of my mantras is there's always a positive and a negative. There is always a positive and a negative. And you can find it. Even if it's that small, you can find it,
Totally.
So let's talk about playing to your strengths when you're looking at getting back into the workforce. Tell us more about that.
This is a great confidence hack for everyone. If you are feeling low, if you are feeling like you don't have the confidence to get back out there and get a job, write down all your strengths and make sure you're going for roles or you're creating your own business around your strengths. When you play to your strengths, you will feel on top of the world. Strengths actually give you strength. So when you're doing them, you feel strong, you feel energized. Do not worry about your weaknesses. I am 48. I know what my weaknesses are, and I don't care. Every 360-degree feedback I've ever had, you jump straight to the weaknesses, and you're like, oh, how am I going to fix that? No. If you focus on your weaknesses, you'll take them from bad to meh. If you focus on your strengths, you'll go from good to great. And that's where you want to go. Find out your strengths. Ask your friends, when am I at my best? Ask previous employers, previous colleagues. Write down your strengths and read them a lot and get familiar with them and believe in yourself. Play to your strengths. You'll get the biggest confidence boost. That's the first thing you should do. Write them down.
Yeah, and it always comes back to too is you've really got to love yourself, haven't you? And this is all part of it, isn't it?
You've got to back yourself.
You've got to back yourself, and everyone has strengths. There is, everyone does. So there is definitely, if you're listening out there, you've got lots of strengths. It's a matter of thinking, okay, well, what are they? And as you say, ask other people, what are my strengths?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got strengths, and it's actually a really good skill to be able to talk about them, because I think it's a human truth that humans want to help each other. And if we come across someone that's looking for a role and they say to us, well, so what are you good at? If we can't talk about that actively, we're not going to help them to find us a role. So we need to join up the dots for people. And sometimes we're not comfortable talking about ourselves, but the only person that's going to blow our trumpet is ourselves. So we need to just move through that fear.
So true.
There's some people out there that are very good at talking about their strengths, and they're the ones that stand out. So be that person.
Absolutely. Speaking of talking, So elevator pitches. Tell us
Yes.
what they are and how people can put one together.
Yes. So an elevator pitch, which, you know, it basically says what it is on the tin, which is a short pitch that you could deliver in an elevator, say, for example, from the ground floor to level 10. But really where I see them working for the clients that I work with is when you're standing on the soccer field sideline next to someone you don't really know that well, when you are doing a drop-off at a birthday party, that kind of thing. And you've got like 1 minute to be able to talk to someone about what you're looking for. So when someone says to you, and you say, oh, I'm actually looking for a new role, and maybe they're a managing director of a business, and they say, oh, what are you looking for? And if you say to them, oh, anything, I could do anything, is actually not useful.
No.
You need to develop a crunchy elevator pitch that kind of incorporates your strengths, the environments that you thrive in, and the problems you love solving. So, for example, someone might say to me, you're looking for a job, and I go, yep. They said, what are you looking for? I say, well, you know, I'm not sure what it's actually called, but what I love doing is solving problems. And I love working in a team to do that. I really love getting outcomes. You know, the best roles I've had are where I've come in, worked out what the problem was, assembled a team and nailed it. Now, that's a really interesting conversation for the person to say, tell me more about that, as opposed to saying, oh, I'm looking for a job as a business analyst. Now, that's kind of what a business analyst does, but talk about the benefits. And it's got to be crunchy, right?
And also, you've got to be enthusiastic and have a really positive tone, haven't you? Really?
Yeah, which is related to the strengths bit, right? And the whole backing yourself. Like, you know, we do have to just embrace our fear a little bit about talking about ourselves. And, you know, I look through plenty of LinkedIn profiles with people that I've worked with, and I look at how they talk about themselves, and I'm like, I don't know if you've really done that. But, you know, the world believes the story we tell it. So tell the world a good story.
Absolutely. Now, tell us more about why having a network is important.
Right. This is everyone out there in the internet land. This is how you're going to get a job. Your own network. Sit down, write a list. Everyone you know, your neighbours, your hairdresser, the person that you did pink ribbon collecting with last year, all your children's friends, parents. Write a massive long list, because opportunities will come from that list. Okay, when you can craft an elevator pitch and talk confidently about what you're looking for, an opportunity will emerge. Delete Seek off your phone. It's not going to come from Seek. It's going to come from your own network. And I know, Bridget, you will know this. When you're building your own business, it's your own network that propels you on, you know? And I just think you need to maximize that, you know? It's all your friends and the friends they have, the people you've met, you sat next to at a dinner party one night. Write them all down. And then when you've got an elevator pitch, next time you see them, you can talk to them about it. I mean, my business started with someone who believed in me, and the only reason I knew that person was I ran our local school fair for 5 years, and this person ran the hamburger stall. And very high up at a client, I told her what I did, what my elevator pitch was, and she says, we need someone just like you. Come and see me.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And so someone is, and in my own situation, I met a lawyer at an RPM class at the gym, and this is how my business started. And I was saying, I really want to help people going through divorce and separation not have the same experience that I had. He said, why don't you be a divorce coach? So 2 seconds later, I Google divorce coach and I'm signed up, for the course. I ran back and said, I'm signed up.
That is beautiful, Bridget. And that is how opportunities happen. They come in the least expected places. They come in an RPM class, but you just have to know what you want, what you're good at, and you've got to join up the dots for people so that when you are in those networking situations, which are not like the typical networking situations of standing around drinking a glass of horrible wine in a windowless room. It's at the RPN class, on the soccer field, on the netball courts. That's where it's going to happen for you.
Absolutely. So there'll be so many women who want to get back into a career, change a career, start a new business, or accelerate their business. So how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, cool. Well, you can jump on to, I've got a couple of businesses, but if they can jump on, they can give me a call. I'm on 027 412 8242, or email me at emma@emmamclean.com, which is MCLEAN.com. And yeah, I mean, I'm very happy to have initial discovery calls for half an hour for free. So jump on, contact me. You can go onto my website, which is www.worksforeveryone.com. So yeah, I'm very happy to talk, and I'm just passionate about getting women into work that works for them.
I can absolutely tell that. You know, yeah, I know you are. I know you are. And you know, I know that a lot of my clients, you know, would love to work with you in the future. Absolutely. Well, Emma, that's been some really fantastic advice, and I would really love you to come back on and have another Facebook Live with me in January when you're back from holiday. But for now, I'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a really relaxing time and with your beautiful children.
Thank you. We'll right back at you.
Thank you. So don't forget to contact Emma if you need some help with some career direction, and have a wonderful rest of the day, everybody. Bye now.
See ya.